And joining us now on Right Side Broadcasting Network is Jarris Jackson with the Media Research Center. Thanks so much for joining us, Jarris.
Appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Definitely. What's your overall take right now, 30,000-foot view on how you see the country? I know that's a very long answer possibly, but your thoughts about what's going on out there.
Let's say from a media perspective, which obviously being here at the Media Research Center, that's our domain. It's actually very interesting to see what you have going on in the country right now. You have the old guard dying media. These are your dinosaurs that will always fail to tell you the truth and always succeed in pushing a liberal agenda. These are your ABCs, your NBCs, your CBSs. They are dying. Their morning shows, their evening broadcasts, if you look at their viewership from just a few decades ago, it's down and it's continuing to crash. The legacy outlets have lied for so long to people, and people simply don't trust them. And as we saw with the last presidential election, we've seen a rise, whether that's podcasters, alternative media websites. People are finding that they can get the truth, not filtered, through various outlets, such as Right Side Broadcasting, for one. But it is interesting to see. Full disclosure, I'm 26 years old, and it's to see these dying broadcasters really clinching to their last bit of relevancy to anyone who will listen, because I can promise you, for people my age, and I mean, I have nephews even younger than I, no one cares what NBC has to say. No one cares what CBS has to say. They are not the authority of truth that they still think they are, but unfortunately for them, the American people disagree.
Yeah, you are exactly right, 100%. That's exactly what's happening out there. So now what needs to be done with conservative media and any others that are just waking up and saying, hey, I got to get the truth out there?
Well, I'll tell you this: conservative media, for the longest time, thought that these people could be changed, and I am glad that we have woken up out of that sleep. I think where it will continue, their natural decline, because they're not going to change. So their natural decline will continue. We really don't need to stay as hyper focused per se on them. Can you believe what NBC did tonight? Can you believe what CBS did tonight? Absolutely, that is important information and we need to know it. And we here at the Media Research Center, we're the best at doing that. Newsbusters.org. We have the best info on that. But we need to continue to build our own infrastructure as well. Don't be concerned with the dying industry. Let's focus on what is going to be happening in the future. And that is, people want to receive their information through podcasts, long form and things, talking with people who you may disagree with. I would much rather watch, to be completely honest, I'd much rather watch someone on the right, it's a contrarian with some right wing views, and someone on the left is a contrarian with some left wing views. I'd much rather watch a podcast of them talking about issues than two, hardline people that I can already telegraph exactly what they're going to say before they open up their mouth. So I
Exactly.
think for the conservative movement, we need to focus on, much like Right Side is doing, we need to focus on our own echo chambers. We need to be prepared for the future, which is not turning on ABC or World News Tonight at 5:30 p.m. The future is people having the news in their pocket when they want it. And we also need to be clear of the new threat that is rising. A lot of people are getting their news nowadays. AI and a lot of these news aggregators, and our Free Speech America division has actually talked at great length about this. If you go to their website, freespeechamerica.com, they've talked at nauseum about how whether it's OpenAI, ChatGPT, Gemini, Google's Gemini, they train all of their AI and they have all their news algorithms all from far left wing sources.
Hmm.
The BBC, Reuters, AP. When you go on and you ask a chat GPT or you ask any of these language models, when you ask them certain political question, they're going to get the answer from the Associated Press. Well, I can guarantee you, if chat GPT is pulling from the Associated Press and Reuters, it's not going to be favorable to anyone that has even the slightest right-wing opinion in the country. So I think older generations were concerned about, did you see the bias that was on CBS tonight? Did you see the bias that was on NBC tonight? That's still important. But we must pivot to see the bias that's built into these AI systems that we use every day, the bias that's built into these phones, the algorithms that are on these phones, the built-in news apps that just spew the same left-wing garbage that people are not watching on their TV.
Man, Jarris, that's some great awareness for our audience, for myself. I mean, I know some of that, but the way you just articulated it was perfect. Thank you for saying what you just did so we can be more aware of the left-wing lying false narrative information. Again, that's all attached to things like Marxism, communism,
Yeah.
anti-constitution, anti-God, family, country, freedom. That's an awesome point. Also, Jarris, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there at the Media Research Center with some of the last facts and figures that you have from some recent coverage?
Yeah, so it's been somewhat astounding that we've seen the Democrats, in the words of the media, that they have caved in regards to this government shutdown deal. Let's start with this, though, and this is a little point that I have to mention. The disservice that the NBC, the ABC, the legacy dinosaur networks have done throughout this entire process. America has become dumber at the end of this process after listening to them. They have yet to really, if you look at their coverage mostly, they talk about Republicans. They talk about healthcare. They talk about healthcare for illegal aliens. They do all of the Democrat spin that they can. They don't mention the bare fact to Americans most of the time that in the Senate, you need 60 votes to pass a continuing resolution. This is a massive underpinning fact. This is the difference between Republicans don't want to do something, a lie, and realizing the truth that Democrats have been holding all of this up. It is the Democrats. If your flight is delayed right now, it's because of the Democrats. If you have not received SNAP, it is because of the Democrats. And this little fact that you need 60 votes in the Senate to pass a CR is almost never mentioned by the legacy media outlets. The Republican Party, they have a 53-seat majority in the Senate right now. They don't have 60. So they need the Democrats. And I think it's hilarious that it took, as soon as Democrats flipped their votes, all of a sudden the government's able to reopen. So what does that tell you? That tells you that it was the Democrats from day one. I think we're on day 45 or so plus now. It was the Democrats from day one holding this up because it's when they flipped their votes, not Republicans, when they flipped your votes, that's when things opened up. Now, our Newsbusters division, newsbusters.org, they have done fantastic, one-of-a-kind work throughout this entire shutdown. Published a study, I just want to make sure I get these numbers here correct, between October 1st and October 31st, the evening newscast of ABC, CBS, and NBC, 87% of their coverage favored the Democrats in regards to the shutdown. 87%. And when it comes to the Republicans, when it comes to just the Republicans, 12. So we have 83% favoring the Democrats, 12% favoring the Republicans, and then the rest of it just down the line coverage. It's amazing when you look at those facts and figures to see that they've basically been doing the Democrat bidding for all 40 plus days of this shutdown. And you wonder why people come out with polls. Oh, the Republicans in Congress, they should be worried. President Trump, he should be worried because everyone and their mother in America is blaming them for the shutdown. Well, you see where things like that comes from. It's not organic. It is not the truth. It is a byproduct of people being fed, whether that's through the evening newscast, whether that's through the AI, whether that's through the news algorithm built into their phone, literally built into the phone. That is why they are believing these lies. It is not because it is the truth. It is not because Republicans in Congress or the Trump White House has done anything wrong. It is because Americans at large are being lied to.
Jarris Jackson, you are a patriot rock star. Everything you're saying is right on point, and hope to have you again here on this network. Jarris Jackson with the Media Research Center. Thanks for what you do. Keep up the good work. Would love to have you on again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. God bless.
God bless you.